Really proud of our guys for finding a way to win here tonight, and I knew it was going to be a tough game, and I give Gardner-Webb a lot of credit. They came out, and this was a team that was, I think they were top 30 or 40 defense in the country last year, and they come out and open up in a 2-3 zone, and I thought their changing defenses early really kind of threw us out of rhythm. And then what happened, I thought it affected our defense. And that, we just didn't play with a ton of energy and poise that way. You give them a lot of credit. But I looked at halftime, they had 11 more shots than we did. We were turning it over. And to our guys' credit, they really regrouped at halftime, and they came out and they played defense. They took care of the basketball. And, to go from down 11 to up 11 and find a way to win the game was awesome. Now, we got to do a little bit better job when we have that lead late, of executing, but a lot of teachable moments, from this game. And what a great shot by Isaiah Rivera. Showed a ton of poise there at the end to get to a spot, and that's what we do, I guess. Isaiah's find a way to make game winners. But really proud of these guys to find a way to battle with a win, and we'll learn from it and get better and get ready for Friday.
Considering the offseason you've had, being down 11 and a half, then up 11, then tied, not the biggest obstacles you faced, right?
Yeah, I those guys, I know who they are because I see them every day, and they really responded at halftime. That just did not look at all like the team that we see every day, and I thought we saw that in the second half, and so they did a great job of being poised. Again, I think there's a lot of teachable moments there late in that game that we'll get better from. But we got some new guys out there too. In those situations, learning how to play through that. And sometimes, like we say, there's only one way to get experience. That's to get experience, and they got some experience tonight.
When we talked to them, when the players were in here, I asked them what you'd address first, the turnovers or the defense. The answer was both.
Well, they're well schooled, huh? But both of those things in the first half. We were turning the ball over, trying to do too much. Again, I thought they really had us out of the rhythm. And then, I keep coming up with 11, but I think at one point they had 11 layups in the first half or something like that. The whole game plan was to try to own the paint, but again, we regrouped. We took it one possession at a time, came out in the second half, and I thought played a lot of toughness and poise, and got out of here with a win.
Obviously, for the longest time. Sorry, go ahead.
Being the first game, mistakes are bound to happen. How do you guys plan to prepare and change heading to Friday's game?
That's part of the journey of a season, and you go in these games, and you win or lose. We win tonight, we'll enjoy it for 24 hours, because if you can't enjoy winning, I don't know what you do it for. And then we wake up and we get better from it and prepare for Southeast Louisiana on Friday. But that's what you have to do the entire season. That's your charge, and you stay consistent that way in your approach, and that's what we'll do. And these guys have a great attitude, and they're coachable, and I no doubt we'll learn and get better from it.
For the longest time, obviously it's been Stevens or Roddy with the ball in those late situations. Obviously not an option now. Was it drawn up for Riv, or
it was drawn? It actually was drawn up for Riv, and I was gonna do one thing, and then at the last minute I did. I'm like, no, let's do this for Riv. And again, he did a great. It's a play we work on a little bit, and he did a great job. I think it was 7.3. Is that what it was on the clock, or 7.4? And in that situation, each second is a dribble, so you got plenty of time to get the ball into the front court. Again, I thought he showed a ton of poise that way. Pat came up, set a great screen for him, got right to his spot, got a clean look, and knocked it down. So that's awesome to see a guy like him to show that kind of poise under pressure.
When did you start? I'm sorry, but when did you start to learn the trust, earn that? He start to earn that trust, because we saw at the end of the first half, you put him in isolation. There's no time.
Yeah, he's worked really hard. He's in his junior year now, and he's a guy that's, has really gotten better, and he's an everyday guy, and he's a guy that we trust, and, he's earned the opportunity now to be out there and to take the next step as a player. And so we see it every day, and, he plays with a lot of toughness and confidence. He had 7 rebounds tonight too, and so I just thought he had a terrific opening game.
Palmer obviously hit the 3 and then had a little bank shot there in the and one. Obviously, Patrick had some really nice play, showing, I guess, some of the new guys what they provide and how important and how nice it to see them step into those roles pretty immediately.
Yeah, Joe Palmer, man. When he's out there, something's going to happen. You know that, in practice in the game. He's got I love his energy and enthusiasm. He's got a smile on his face, and what you see in the crowd, that's what you see every day in practice. And, man, he had that was awesome to see that shot go in and then make the energy play. And I thought that really kind of sparked our team, right? It just kind of got us going and a couple more gears, and that's great. And he didn't get here till late in the summer this year, and I think he's just getting more and more comfortable, and it's such a different role for him than he's been in, at the college he was at. And but man, he's an energy guy, and it was really cool to see him come in and spark us. And I thought Pat too, and I thought there were a lot of guys a little bit nervous, to be honest, to kind of start the game, and then when it didn't go our way, they did. But I thought Pat really settled down in the second half, and kind of been the player that we see every day in practice. But you just got to go through those things sometimes, and they're going to get better from this.
It seemed like Tabby really provided a spark as a facilitator, especially. Like, it was kind of stagnant. He comes in and creates back-to-back opportunities for Cartier Funlow.
I'm just really excited about him. I mean, he's an athletic, tough kid, and he's just going to get better and better. Like you said, he's just been in and out of practice with so many different things, and unfortunately had to miss the exhibition game because of a concussion. But he's got a chance to be a special player, here. And what's cool is, it hurts not having Isaiah Stevens and Josiah Strong out there. But what it is doing is it's giving guys like Tavy and Baylor Hebb and Joe Palmer and some of these other guys an opportunity to play a lot here early in the season. And I think that's only going to make us stronger as the year goes on.
It seemed like maybe a little bit stagnant offensively early. You mentioned
That's an understatement. Yeah.
How much of that is what they're throwing at you defensively, and how much of that's not having your starting point guard?
To be honest, a little bit of both. You know what I mean? I think they really did a good job of kind of confusing those guys a little bit. We had trouble kind of recognizing what they were in, and we were a little bit slow and just not on the attack that way. And so, good game plan on their part. I'll be honest, we haven't seen a ton of 2-3 zone because we've been such a good shooting team, but they did just enough to kind of change defenses and take us out of rhythm. But another great learning opportunity that way for us. But the biggest problem is those things happen, but you can't let it affect your defense. We kept giving them layups, and we kept turning the ball over. And sometimes you just got to dig in, take care of the ball, find a way to get stops, and eventually you get into a rhythm, and that's what we did in the second half.
What's your message to the guys after they tie it up late? Because that's obviously an emotional moment, like a judgment call goes the other way, they tie it up. What are you guys telling them?
Just got to move on to the next play. One thing I've never seen, whether I didn't see the play, the thing, whether it was the right call or not, I've never seen an official go back and change it. So complaining about it or worried about it isn't going to do anything. You just got to quickly move on to the next play. So that's what we did. It's over. Tie game, 7 seconds to go. We've been here before. We had practiced this situation in practice. Let's just move on to it. Let's execute. Let's get a great shot. And that's what we did. That's all you can do, in that situation. And so, again, in a lot of ways, it was cool for us to be in this kind of down big, have a lead, could have played a little bit smarter down the stretch, but ultimately just make enough plays to win the game is pretty cool.
Not in your control, but did you think it was a foul?
I'll be honest, Justin, I didn't really see it. I know what my staff said. I'll just leave it at that. The flopping is a big, anyways, it's probably unfortunate. I trust Jalen Lake. We're in our 3-point field goal defense there, switching everything. And again, a situation we practice. The message is always do never foul a shooter. Some of these shooters are pretty crafty at kind of, kicking out their legs or selling it and stuff like that. I think we got called for a couple of flops that way, so I'll have to see the film. But you know what? Hey, man, things that haven't gone our way early, but you just got to regroup and you got to control what you can control, and really proud of our guys for doing that. And again, we found a way to win.
What do you think of Tavy Jackson's maturity level at this point, being a freshman, knowing when to take shots, knowing when to pass things up?
He's got a lot to learn, but I'm telling you, this kid, he is so coachable. He's such a great kid. Works his butt off in practice. He wants to be a good player. He really cares. And so I'm just really excited about him. He's a guy I just love coaching, and he's gonna make mistakes. He's a freshman, point guard out there, and people are doing all sorts of different kinds of things, but he's just gonna continue to get better because he cares so much. And he's a guy who's going to make some plays now too, and I think you don't see a guy who's afraid. I know that. He is not afraid of the moment. So he just got that it factor that way. And so he's just going to continue to get better for this team, but he's going to make mistakes. We probably have amnesia. Isaiah Stevens made plenty of mistakes too as a freshman. Do you know what I mean? I tell him now, you still make some now as a senior too, But we all do. That's part of it. But I'm really excited about this young man. He's going to be a really good player.
So honestly, you drew up that play for Rivera,
Mhm.
it wasn't just habit of saying get.
No, the play was no.
Just that
No.
Isaiah and just
Well, I
that
could
guy.
go with that, like but no, the play was to get the ball to Rivera and have him make the decision, and I thought he could get a good shot off, and that's what he did, and man, it sure felt good to see that thing go through the net. And thanks, it was great to be back. Students were really good again tonight, and something to build on. I thought they really gave us energy there when we needed it, and let's get back after it Friday.
Thanks.
Thanks. Yep.